So originally, I had a couple of major power bills in summertime, power bills from air conditioning, $900, $1,200. Add, running the pool extra hours during the summer, and with rates going up, it just continued to get more and more expensive. And I had also already went through and tried to become as efficient as possible by changing light bulbs to LEDs and so forth, but I just couldn't get ahead of it. First thing I went to, I thought about it for a while, and then I bumped into one of the vendors at Costco and actually talked to them. They came out, and it was, the experience was fine and all, but the solution that they put together was not as complete. Did not include, roofing. I had to go piecemeal it, the whole 9 yards, and it was pricier, even though it was, you would think you'd get a better deal through getting it through Costco. So after I had that, through our friends, made the referral, said, oh, I know somebody who does solar local here in Los Gatos. So made the phone call, and then from there it was a very simple process, meeting with yourself and with Mike, going through what some of the options were, picking the different panels. Honestly, I had two big concerns. First big concern was just putting it on my older roof, and then second was the look. So if you have a more of a higher end house, you want, ugly solar panels are not the first thing you want to see, especially if you have a terraced yard like we have. But once I actually saw the actual physical panels themselves in the photos, I said, well, these are much nicer than some of the alternatives that I've seen out there. It was pretty smooth. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, and usually when you're doing any contracting project, you kind of have to expect there's going to be problems along the way, and usually it's about how the contractor handles problems and contingencies throughout the way. And the first part is you gotta, one, does it make sense? So does it pencil out? That was my first criteria. So we spent plenty of time penciling it out, looking at different amounts of panels and so forth, and going through the iterations of sizing it so that I wanted to not only cut down, but I actually want to relax a bit and not care as much about leaving lights on or running the air conditioning more or whatever, right? Just let the sun take care of that. So that process was actually kind of fun, sizing that out, and then it became to picking the panels. After that, then it was really get down to the brass tacks of getting the contract done and everything through. E-signature was, and even the financing was incredibly simple compared to what my expectation was. Unless you're not using any energy, it's I would say, I mean, if you had a $60 a month electric bill, but if electricity is going to continue to keep going up, and if I knew how good the panels and the roof was going to look with everything on, and to see that literally as soon as I got permission to operate, I'm already got credited money back, I would have done this a long time ago. And I was holding off because my perception was that the solar technology was going to continue to improve at a drastic rate, but the reality is that once I was actually educated on it, I come to realize that solar's been around for since the 60s in the space program. So once I was confident that I'm buying it at the right time, I probably could have bought it several years back, and been okay. But like right now, I think is the perfect time. Well, I think if you can allocate, probably maybe a maximum of 4 hours. If you kind of net it all out, that's about the amount of time I probably spent on this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably being a little bit overstating it a little bit.
Yeah.
Communication was smooth. Process was smooth. Whenever there was a contingency, you guys jumped there, or a curveball or whatever, you guys jumped all over it. Smoothed it out. Work with the subcontractors, and to your point about how much time I spent with it, it would be a text message back saying, "Hey, can we look at this or do this?" And I didn't have to worry about anything. It just got taken care of. You're crazy if you don't do it. I think actually the panels look, first off, just from aesthetics, it actually looks really good. Like, I never thought I'd say that. I thought I would be saying, oh, I could live with how they look, but I think they're so good looking now that I think they actually almost add to the appearance of the house.